Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noel Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Join me every week, my brother Pedro. Hello, hello.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pedro Creative Tech here at Adafruit. And every week, we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That is right. This is where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is episode 485. It is June 4th, 2025. Welcome, everybody, to June. We are now in June. We are hanging out in the Adafruit Discord server. If you'd like to join the Adafruit Discord server, come on by at discord.gg/Adafruit. If you're not a part of the group yet, that's the URL for folks. And we'll take a couple moments for folks to say hello, and we'll shout them out. And we're also streaming on, this week, we're streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and X. Welcome everybody there. If you have comments, go ahead and drop them into whatever chat you're in, and we can probably pull them into the show. Questions, GIFs, memes, all that, and more is acceptable. All right. Let's jump into adafruit.com/free. And we have some time to talk about all the tiers, starting off with orders of $99 or more. You're going to get a free PCB coaster with a golden Adafruit logo. If your order is $149 or more, you'll get the PCB coaster plus an Adafruit KB2040. That's that lovely microcontroller featuring the RP2040 chip. And if your order is at the top tier at $199 or more, you'll get the PCB coaster, the KB2040, and free UPS ground shipping for continental US only. And for folks, a special coupon code for folks watching the show, you can use our coupon code ALARM and get 10% off your order. So if you do want to check out something, be sure to type that into the coupon code box at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your order. All right. Giving shout outs to folks in the Discord, starting off with Jim Hendrickson. Hello. Good morning. Or wherever you might be. It's still the morning here in the East Coast, in our part of the world. All right. So this week, we are prototyping projects. Last week, we talked about the Learn Guide of this project. It's the USB corded Keyset, corded keyboard. Lots of different names for it, but this was published last week. And then this week, we figured we'd come out with a little demo video of showcasing some of the features and the design, which I'm a big fan of. It's so cute, so fun, and go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. You can check out the YouTube video. We also have a short. It's on Instagram, TikTok.
Yes, everywhere.
Yeah,
even LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it'd be fun to make a video about it and check it out. If you want to share it, that's cool too. Yeah. So we talked about the Learn Guide last week. So if folks want to get a full deep dive, check out last week's episode and the Learn Guide, of course. Okay. Ooh, my package is arriving. All right, Pedro, you're up with next week's project. It's ready to be guided, documented. So
Yes.
let's do a demo of this super cool alarm clock.
Yeah, I'm about to start shooting all the part and assembly footage for this, but here is the alarm.
Hey, it's winking at me. It's very colorful.
Yeah, awesome code over to us last week. Thursday or something. Right in the middle, I was trying to get like a little fuzzy tail to print out.
Oh, look at that!
Use the
encoder wheel.
Yeah, use the fuzzy skin option for slicing that. I was trying to get the rest of the case to print for it, but there isn't yet an option to exclude it from printing everything like that, like on the inside. So it would definitely mess with like the way that things are mounted. We can take a look at that. That's speaker mounted on the back. The knob for the rotary is the little tail. If I use the take that apart, you can see how everything is mounted on the inside. Got the stemma rotary on there, the speaker, and then the stacked QTPy S3, and the BFF audio down there. Spent a little bit of time fighting Fusion trying to get the QTPy stacked solids in there, and then connecting it back to the way that the sketches are for that. And then the IS matrix speaker or matrix displays are mounted to the front there. And then the other thing I spent time on, I really wanted to get the what's it called? The little cover. Wanted to have that printed as a infill, so I wanted to match the way that the
it's so cute when it winks.
Yeah, the little LEDs, the way those are aligned. So I have that going. So when it's off, it looks like there's nothing there. Super cool. One other thing up. Of course, multicolored with the little smiling face there. It's supposed to be like the Labu everybody's been posting about. Unfortunately, I keep seeing that there's like fights breaking out with people wanting to get the whatever models are left over. What is that? I'm just reading the comments. So some of the features for this is Lamar wanted you to be able to change the colors for this. So when you scroll, the default on here is it goes through all of the rainbow colors, which is super cool. So you can pick what color you want that to be. And then, of course, alarm mode. So if you click once in the rotary, you can change the hour and then click once more to go into the time. Time is it 06. See if I can get that to go off so you can hear what that sounds like. 6. Oh, actually,
No, 7.
07.
Quick before it becomes 07. So it's grabbing the internet time. So there's that. It's Wi-Fi. It's a QTPy ESP32 S3.
Missing all the important parts here.
Yeah, maybe go 8. Yeah, because no, we're already at 7.
Oh.
There you go. Wake. Okay, this is really cool. So the text is scrolling. It says wake up. You can change it to be whatever you like. It's all done in CircuitPython, of course, CircuitPython code. It's started by Liz, but Pedro has a little extra sauce that he added.
Yeah. So
somebody named Claude? Who's this Claude person?
So I had Claude installed from the click and hold to turn it off. Oop, I clicked it too many times. Let's see. Have it go off again at 20 to remind me.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Let's do 13.
Okay. Wink. Wink.
So yeah, so I had Claude installed from last time that we were doing the Blender MCP, and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of like tweaks that I wanted to add to it. I always feel bad like talking to you guys in terms of back and forths on, oh, can you add this little feature? Can you add that little feature? So I used Claude to add a bunch. Yeah, that you know, we hate feature creep because it's always going to extend the length of projects, and then you know, you guys are always working on other stuff too. So I always feel bad bothering you guys. So I was able to go into Claude and have it add a bunch of things like denoting when to dim the display. So from 8 o'clock to 6 or 8 p.m. to 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. It'll dim the clock to I think it's like whatever 20 is for the value. So it dims it, and then right at 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. it raises the brightness of the display. The scrolling text, like that's something that I wanted, but I didn't know how difficult it was going to be. So the scrolling text was added by Claude. The denoting PM and AM, the code originally had the 24-hour time on it for when you go into the alarm mode. And that was always difficult for me because, you know, I always have to like count on my fingers like, oh no, 13 is 1, 14 is 2 o'clock or 2 p.m. So I had it denote that by adding an extra colon when it's PM. Just going into the alarm clock mode, it was a little difficult to figure out when it was in the editing mode for that. So I had it blink when it goes into that mode.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's very intuitive to like a standard kind of digital clock has a little thing. Our CircuitPython RTC clock actually blinks too. So it's very intuitive to have it blink when you're setting a time and setting an alarm in this case.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then time because it's internet time. So
yeah. So and then of course the eye winking was added by Claude as well.
Wow.
There's still a couple of other things that I want to add, like turn off the alarm after 1 minute of it being triggered.
Auto shut off. Okay.
Yeah. Tell me when, because if you triple click the rotary, it'll turn off the alarm, but you don't know that.
How do you know if the alarm is on or off? Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted the text to scroll to let you know, to notify you that when you triple click it, is the alarm off or on.
Yeah, this is a really good, point to say is like when you're developing a project, you get your very minimal things. It needs to tell time. Okay, cool. Well, how about an alarm? Okay, well, we set an alarm. Okay, well, then how do you know it's set an alarm? It's more of like a UX thing, and you don't know this until you have it built and you actually use it, right? So that's the thing is like now that the more you use it, the more like, what, this is a feature that's kind of critical to like using it, right? So Claude allows you to take this base code that Liz put together, and then you can like add on to it because you're using it more. It's not like I used it for 5 minutes. It's ready for release. It's like, so using Claude was your first time coding with an AI assistant. So tell me a little bit
really
about
coding, more like
how did you like know how to prompt it? Did you look at any tutorials?
I did. I just tried. I just very plainly asked it. I think the first thing I added was the scrolling. I said, take a look at this code. I uploaded the Py code, and it said scroll, wake up, in parentheses, scroll this text when the alarm is triggered. And I was so amazed by how it like broke things down and like added. I gotta like read back what I think. What the message said.
You can look at the prompts you said, right? And kind of.
I don't have it on this computer.
Yeah, of course.
The way that it sent it back was, the eyes are now centered to each matrix and will wink in a playful sequence, giving you an alarm clock that has a fun personality. The animation is carefully timed to not interfere with the clock's primary functions while adding a charming touch every 30 seconds. And I was like, oh crap, I didn't even think to tell it how often how often to blink. And then all that extra fluff in there was like, wow, that is it's talking like a freaking human.
Yeah.
So
Which was great for someone who's, not well versed in coding and development like that.
And it was such a simple task that I gave it, like add a scrolling text when the alarm is triggered. And then from there, I was just like, okay, add dimming from, forget what the times were, the 6 a.m. or 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Dim the time from there. And then I think I told you what it.
Oh, your time is up. Sorry, you have to wake up. Yeah.
And then I told it, increase the speed of the scroll. There's still a couple of things I don't want to add.
Sure, yeah. And now you can do it all with Claude.
Yes, I was asked to be added to the Adafruit Claude team, so I don't run out of the conversation length or the tokens or whatever.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, I have yet to use it, but I'm inspired now to use it. So
it's super cool. Like when I added the dimming, it came back and it was like, okay, the clock will now automatically dim at night and brighten during the day, making it easier on your eyes in dark environments while maintaining good visibility during daylight hours. It's like, wow, I didn't.
Good description.
Yeah. So it's like telling you why it did something and why the functionality is gonna work. So it's like, oh my god. I sent this the code over to Liz to have her look at it. It was like, yo, is this code legit? And I think she said the only thing that looked funky was pull it up.
The winking had some time, some time
unmatched. Yeah, some unmatched if else statements, and then the blink animation is blocking with a time sleep. But it looks like it's inside the ticks check. I was like,
yeah. I guess you could tell Claude, hey, I noticed that this is.
That's what I was gonna do. Yeah. So there's some funkiness with because I was using the desktop app, and of course it's not syncing with the web one. So
so a little bit of accounting things you'll figure out. Maybe create a new account, or you couldn't delete your account. You went down this terrible thing where it's like, I can't talk to anyone from Anthropic because the chat's an AI.
Of course.
So what a weird, it went great, but now I'm into this other weird issue.
It's so useful that I almost went in there and just said, fuck it, just freaking pay for the free account to be upgraded just so I can freaking finish it.
Yeah, I think so.
Once you start going in there and being able to tweak the way that it operates, the way that you're able to tweak the physical model, Because I went in there, added a bunch of finesse to it, like the way that it mounts and the way that the getting the alignment of the screen all perfect. You get addicted to, oh no, I want the functionality to do this, or I want to add that. But I was willing to just pay for it to have that added. Which is funny because we are paying for the Chat GPT. Brandy's been using it to generate all of the kids' homeschool like worksheets on whatever animal or whatever math and coloring sheets. So having it generate something that that you want, having it grab info and make tests and like things like that is so freaking cool.
Cool.
So try to figure that out, and I want to add some of the features that we just talked about. The letting us know if the alarm is turned off or on.
Yeah.
Turning off the alarm after a minute.
Yeah, definitely write down what you want. Kind of going all over the place.
Yeah.
I do want to share.
It's one of those things where it's like I remember it because once you have it in your hand, you're playing with it. You have your kids play with it. You'll remember the functionality that you want to add to it.
Sure, yeah. Yep.
It's definitely top of mind.
There's still some weirdness. I do want to share mine. So if you notice, Pedro's had like 2 different colors. So we don't know if it's certainly not a code thing because this is the exact same code. But before you did the Claude stuff.
Yeah, before I did that, it was
Claude didn't change the colors. It's just like, so we wonder if there's like a hardware design work where maybe the NeoPixel, I don't know. We'll talk with Lamore tonight about that maybe. But there's supposed to be like a single color across the 2 displays. So this is what the circuit looks like. I just put it together before the show.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Squid Aaron says on the chat that he knows why the matrices are like that. Let me guess, it's the RBG or RGB. Is it?
Yeah. We checked our it's the same revision, so we're not sure if it's a revision hardware thing, but it says they're supposed to be both supposed to be the same color. Yeah. And then I have the circuit here put together.
That's what it is. It's the RGB ordering.
It really is.
So I do. So God. I can swap. I'm gonna swap out the older.
How do you know? How do you gonna know which one is RGB and which one's GRB? So I'm just twirling.
I'm just gonna match. I mean, I only had one of the older stock of the LED Matrix left, so they'll both be the newer stock of what people will purchase from the store. So that's all I have to do, which is so easy thanks to Stemma. Yay. All I got to do is just hook them, unscrew it, and plug it in. Only way to know is by trial and error.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Squid.jb, for reporting the issue. Yep.
Yeah, do you account for this?
Yeah.
Marquee text scroller. Man, I'm glad
there's no way to know other than just trial and error, which is a little.
The only difference that I saw where you saw that little B is that one was more clearly printed than the other. The older, I think, is the older one looked a little bit more smushed.
Okay.
But then that could just be the way that the silk printed on it. So yeah, one. And the other way that I could tell was that one of the Stemma ports was black and one of them was white.
Oh, that could just be we need to have like multiple reels to manufacture these things, and sometimes we run out of black and we got to get a white Stemma,
or we switched whoever was manufacturing those parts, we swapped over.
Yeah, I mean that's also a problem with NeoPixel strips. There's inconsistency and like the shade of green is different from this strip, so you're connecting 2 different strips and it turns out, oh no, they're different shades. So that's just a thing, I guess, with LEDs.
Hardware,
not all the same. Yeah, and we have to be able to keep a stock of these things, so we got to have multiple suppliers. All right,
that's a good segue into one of the issues that were reported on the Sparkle Motion, where the terminal blocks didn't fit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was because we didn't have them with the terminal blocks on it. You went ahead and updated the case, so now it will be.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. What else can we say about this? QTPy S3, ESP32 S3 with 8 megabytes of RAM. And then this was something that we didn't
account for either. The BFF SD card or the BFF audio. There's one with an SD card, one without.
Right. So this is the amplifier that's built in, but also it has an SD card. How about that?
Which I would have loved to use because I would
love to use it. Yeah, you would have to change the code, the pins in the code, which you could do in Claude, I guess. And then it has a Molex Pico Blade connector for easy plug and play to a speaker. And you ran into a little, not an issue, but like different ways to get the speaker hooked up easily, right? So what did you end up doing?
So you take a look here. The speaker comes pre-soldered with the wires that you need to hook this up. So I was hooking up or soldering the plug to socket connector. Right. And then after I spent all this time doing that, like getting footage of the video for that, I was like, wait a minute, why didn't I just solder on the plug version so it could just plug straight in there without having to go through an adapter? So that's all I did there was just unsolder the wire that it comes with, and then just solder the plug connector, not the socket one. So it plugs into the socket of the BFF. And
I like this speaker. It's a little weird to mount, but I think you found a good way to mount it. And I think it has like better bass than our mini oval speaker that we tend to use on every project.
Oh yeah.
Like size wasn't really an issue here, so you're able to use it. I just think it has a bigger magnet, and it looks like a speaker.
Yeah. Oh, when I'm gonna get close-up shots of you can see this thing going whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, like you can have some good bass. Yeah, it's because it has a bigger magnet, I think. So those are cool. So good choice on the speaker and figuring out how to hook it up easily. And then bonus points on the tail. That's the rotary encoder. That's fun.
Yeah. I didn't realize. There you go. Yeah, I was happy to see that it had a tail. It actually has like a dragon type tail. Like there's little spikes on it. I wanted to add on there, but you know, going in Claude and trying to figure that out took up all the rest of the time. And I'm guessing the theme of Labu is that it has all these costumes that it changes into. So sometimes it's a bunny, sometimes it's like a
LA
whatever insert costume change.
Yeah, I wanted to pull up a quick image of Labu because I'm not familiar with Labu, but this is Labu.
Different ones.
It reminds me of Where the Monsters Are. What is it called? Where they?
Oh yeah. Totally. The way the faces.
Yeah, the smile is like very creepy. It's like weird, it's like creepy but cute at the same time.
I think that's why it's so popular.
I've never heard of this Labu.
I didn't either until PT sent this over.
Yeah. Pop Mart Labu. And you can
dress them up.
Like the American Doll, you can just get all these accessories for your Labu. And apparently people are fighting over them at market stores. So that's what your clock is themed after, the Labu. And I think Januski said it kind of looks like this mascot from this YouTube channel, Usagi.
Huh.
Yeah, you see one bunny, you think, oh, everything looks like a bunny. But
the way that the face is a little elongated, it looks like a little capybara.
Yeah, having those eyes really is a nice chef's kiss touch, the tail and everything. So great job on that. You're going to start documenting it. I think you finalized the hardware.
Yep, I'm going to have to. I'll probably skip doing trying to figure out the rest of the features to add in Claude.
I want to give a big shout out to squid.jpg. Thank you for confirming with us that it is a GRB.
We had a suspicion.
Yeah, because we've had it bite us before with NeoPixel strips, like connecting two different ones. This is a different batch, different vendor. They tend to have different stuff. And thanks for reporting it too. That's really good to know. Otherwise, we wouldn't have known. Cools. Did you want to talk about? I guess next week you could talk more about some of the aesthetics. There's dual extrusion happening here. Well, not more than dual extrusion. AMS multicolor happening here, and then there's also the diffuser that you figured out how to do a good infill only diffuser. You're gonna have to model stuff. It's really good, I think. Without that, that's a really good shot right there, actually. Because if you look at mine, you can see the bare LED is something to be desired. It's kind of hard to make it out for some reason. But there's other ways. I got here some black LED acrylic.
Yeah.
So you could always use that if you wanted a more like fuzzy kind of look. It does tend to make it fuzzy. But your solution seems to be working pretty good because it keeps the sharpness, but it like cuts back on some of the weird grayish washed out color that you get here.
Yeah.
Let me pull up yours. Yeah, so that looks great. You printed it in brown as well. I wonder what it would look like printed black. That might be interesting.
Well, I can give it a try. Yeah. I'm most impressed that it lines up with the way that the LEDs are mounted,
isn't it? Yeah.
And then when
at different angles, it looks like it's misaligned, but it looks aligned when it's at afar.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Depending on what angle.
It's right up against the LEDs.
Yes, right now they are.
Yeah.
I probably have to extrude or thicken it by like, I don't know, maybe like a millimeter or so to.
Yeah, how thick is it?
That it is. I think it's like 0.5.
Okay. And how is it secured to the?
On the inside, there's a little there's a tapered wall that holds it in place.
Cool.
So once you press fit it in there, it's held on.
Yeah.
By the way that it encloses itself into the size.
Yeah.
It's like holding onto it.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we've used a 3D printed infill as a diffuser.
That's why I was interested in trying to do it that way. Yeah. I didn't know if it would work or not. And at first, obviously we were going to try to model it because that's how we've done it before. And I was like, man, it was
just too fine of a model too. Like, what's another thing? It's easier to just like tweak the infill, like one number instead of having to like make a parametric model. Then there's also gels, but they're like shiny and reflective, and they don't work well when you're filming with camera lights. So I like that it's matte and it's not shiny at all. It's like matte. Looks good. Cool. Yeah, a lot of cool, fun design techniques, coding techniques. It's a fun project. I love a clock. I still have my CircuitPython clock on my desk here. It uses an RTC and not internet time.
Yeah, just the winking. Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing too. Adding like eyelashes to the eyes.
Add eyelashes, yeah. Maybe add a sound effect every time it winks. It goes. Mwah. What does the bunny sound like?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like that might get annoying every 30 seconds.
Yeah, I was joking. Cool. Next week we'll have a guide and we'll talk more about some stuff. If you want to pick up the the parts to build this project, use our coupon code. This is the IS31FL3741 13x9 RGB Matrix.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's in stock are the smaller or the shorter stemma cables.
Ah, yes.
We can't seem to keep those in stock.
Yep. I tend to reuse them. Like I'll take it out of a project that didn't quite get finished and just reuse my stemma cables.
Yep. I'll have to scavenge if we don't restock them soon.
I'll have to put mine together because I've been using the printer, so I need to put mine together because it's just a bunch of parts right now on my table. Yeah, but pretty cool.
I kind of like how each one is a different color, but yeah,
it's kind of funny. Yeah,
it looks cool on the eyes, but not on the time. Not always. Like sometimes it's cool. I thought that was on purpose. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool the way that it.
You thought it was on purpose? Yeah.
I thought it was on purpose.
Yeah.
When I send it over to show here it is in action, I didn't receive any comments on. Oh, they should both be both colors.
Right.
And I was even gonna have Claude do that too, to make them both colors, but it probably would have generated more useless code.
Right.
It not knowing the order of the LEDs.
I think mine crashed. I'm not changing the color. Anyway, it's like it's not changing the color now. Weird.
Squid says it should be an easy fix. Fortunately,
I haven't looked at the code yet, so I wonder how.
I don't know how to read it. I mean, I could read the comments. But not...
Is it Is it initialized at the top of the code, like each one? Maybe you could just say GRB, because I know that's how NeoPixel strips are initialized. It's just like, here's one strip, here's another strip, here's the color order, But this is the library is a little funky, right? We're not sure.
I'm just gonna replace.
Just replace the screen, and just hope that you get two matching.
I mean,
there's no way to know other than turning it on.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Okay, cool. Bunnies, Easter bunny cakes.
Yanni's saying, have those rabbit clocks near the rabbit.
Yeah, when you're setting up the matrices, you can change the thing. Yeah.
The only rabbits we have here are the ones that are outside, the wild rabbits.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's rabbit season here too. We're seeing more and more rabbits as we get closer to summer.
Oh, this is what we want to make sure that it is in the code, even if you get the matching matrices, because other people might have it, right?
Yeah, and you have no idea what color order the matrices might be. Yeah, I wonder if that's mentioned in the Learn Guide. We might need to take a note, like put a warning, like, hey, this is a thing.
Yeah, this could happen.
Because ideally you want to put two of them together to make a marquee display.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those edge cases where if it's somebody who had one already and then buys a new one, then that's when you'll get bit.
Yep. Interesting. All right. Let's go on over to prototyping. We're already 30 minutes in. I'll make it quick. I don't really have much of design, but I do have a circuit put together. So let me show my desk. Yeah. Okay. So let's unplug this. It needed to be unplugged anyway because I think I crashed it somehow. All right. So we saw an Instagram or a TikTok or a tweet.
I just call it a tweet now.
Yeah, of somebody created a fake typewriter where you use your USB keyboard, and as you type, it sounds like a typewriter. And bonus, it has a little service bell when you hit the return key. So that is the next project that I'm working on. The electronics are going to be a Feather RP2040 with USB host so that you can plug in a USB keyboard into here. And as you type on the keyboard, it'll make the clickety clackety sounds with one solenoid and then another solenoid to do a little bell. So I found these bells on Amazon. It's like $5 for two of them. I took one apart so that I can recreate the housing for it. And my idea is to create an enclosure with the electronics so that it looks like a little mini typewriter that you plug your keyboard into. I think that'll be clever. This is, of course, the MCP 23071 solenoid driver. You can control up to 8 solenoids. You might remember it from popular projects like Liz's toy xylophone project that she did a couple weeks ago. It's an easy way to connect solenoids to a driver. It handles all the circuitry for you, and you have screw block terminals, so it makes it easy to hook up these solenoids. So we're using these little tiny cute 5-volt solenoid drivers, and that way we can power the driver, the solenoids, with USB power. So here I have a USB power pin and a ground going into the screw block terminals. That's where you put the input to drive the solenoids, and then you have up to 8 channels here. Right? Yeah, 8 channels here to do the solenoids. So a little bit more than I need, but makes it easy. So I'm thinking maybe total 3. We'll see how typing works with 1 solenoid versus like 2 solenoids. I don't know. So the idea is we'll be able to strike. It's kind of hard to position this properly because in the demo code it like holds it.
Yeah.
But really, you want to like strike it and let it and release as quick as you can. So it's hard to demo that. Yeah, it's really hard to demo it. But the idea is I want to put it on the inside so you don't see the solenoid. And obviously I'm holding it, so I need to, again, recreate the base for it so that it's integrated into the typewriter enclosure. But I'm just, piecing out the parts and figuring out what the scale is going to be and all that. So it's a good look at the beginnings of a project. I put the circuit together yesterday, and I was originally going to use these 6-volt things because we don't actually have these in stock at the moment. These 5-volt mini solenoids, you can get them on Amazon for a little bit of extra money. But Pedro was like, hey, I have like 5 of them, so he shipped me some. So those are arriving today, so I can continue with the project. They have mounting holes as well, M2 mounting holes, so I can use these to secure it to the 3D print. And then these, unfortunately, do not work because they are rated for 6 volts. So don't use these if you want to, then they're much, much bigger and they need 6 volts. And I don't want to have an external power source to power these solenoids. So that's why I'm going with the 5-volt mini ones, because it's supposed to be a mini, fake typewriter project for the fold, for the lulz. So that's what we got going on. Can you hear the click?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's supposed to sound like a typewriter when you're clicking on the keyboard. So we'll see how that works. Hopefully it's doable. Yeah. So that's the project idea.
So,
all right. For Shop Talk, I just want to give a big shout out to the GitHub repo. Let me see if I can pull it up. We are on a tear with new 3D models. Starting off with the Metro RP2350. If you go to github.com/Adafruit, search for Adafruit CAD parts, and you can find our repo. I'll have a link in the description here. But we got the Metro RP2350. We got the Sparkle Motion stick, the new color sensor, the Sense 6X breakout, and then we have a part request from our very own Tyeth. Tyeth requested the terminal Pi cowbell, so we got that model made for him. And then we have the new INA 237 power monitor. So we're starting to kind of come out with, as new products get added to the shop, we're also making CAD files for it in the same time. Thank you for the links, Pedro. And those are the new CAD parts. Yeah, so if you want to use them in your designs, feel free to download them. They come in various formats, such as Step, which opens in Blender, and FreeCAD, and the Fusion file if you want to use Fusion, and also a 3MF file, which is more adopted now in the slicers, 3D printing slicers. Yeah, I'm kind of moving away from STL because 3MF just has more metadata and seems to be better.
I provide the M3F when it is set up with the colors, the dual colors, or when I have the supports, or when I have like any setting that I want to keep is when I have that. The STLs is if you want to orient it whatever way you want, or there's no specific setting for it.
Yeah.
The STL.
Yeah, I'm 3MF all the way. It took me a long time to get here because I remember when it was first released, I think MakerMuse did a video on like why you should switch to M3F. And that was like 5 years ago.
You went back and forth on it, I remember.
And I kept going back and forth on it, but like with the bamboo and having multicolored stuff, and I think it's just better, especially with like the plates. Like it has like plates and part orientation. Like that's the winner right there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Three of them, three of the parts for this will absolutely be 3MF because of the way that I have all the paint like already set up for like the face, you know, the teeth, the lips, the ears, all that is already painted in. So you don't have to go in there and paint, so you can color that in, that it's mounted, or the way that the infill for the grid is set up. Like, so yeah.
So 3MF all the way.
Yep.
So that's why we switched from STLs to 3MF.
Having all those options in there, or all those settings baked in there.
Yep. Sorry about that, John Richardson saying this is the loudest mouse click for a live stream. Yeah, because I had it on. Yeah, it gets a little annoying, but I don't know. It's for the lulz. Okay, next up, I think we're ready for a time lapse. Or do you want to do rapid render?
Hold on, my trackpad just died.
Your trackpad? Why do you use the trackpad?
So I don't have to go over here and like hover over my keyboard. I have the plug right here though.
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody hang tight. Here we go.
Thanks for letting me know right when it's dying, not when before.
Right. Like, hey, it's 10%. Anyway, I threw up the coupon code. Support Pedro's trackpad with the coupon code alarm.
Whoops. Did it connect? I feel so weird when it's dead because
it does, because it doesn't.
It's a fake.
Yeah, a haptic.
Haptic
click.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to use the one on the laptop and hover over my keyboard. Because then I can't click easily.
All right, you have 20 minutes.
Let's go ahead and jump into this week's rapid render.
Okay, I'll start it for you. Hello.
All right, let's check out this week's rapid render. This week, we're going to be taking a look at TRIPO. You can generate scenes and characters and like texture maps. You can also do character rigging, which is pretty cool. Here's some of the showcase of some of the things that have been generated. You got smart that word there. Rape topologizes your model. Like simpler quads to do like a low poly count. And the interface for this looks like some of the ones we've done in the past where it allows you to rig characters. So I wasn't sure if we already covered it. The only way that I know that it's a new one we haven't looked at is if it asks me to create an account. So you just use your Google login like most of the other ones. And I was just in here clicking around to see what options they have. Unfortunately, a lot of the higher options are for paid. So the model that I wanted to have it try to generate was this crocodile that we saw over at Gatorland. And it lets you choose the style that you want to have the model to be generated. And let's see, I think I clicked on the Barbie one because I kind of like the plastic look of it. And I was like, oh, cool, let's turn this into like a toy. But they have, let me go full screen here.
Barbie Gator.
Yeah, Barbie Gator. Christmas, I don't know what that, I guess it's like coloring book style, cartoon, steampunk, alien, clay. I'm going to guess that this is just for paid because it didn't actually apply that. The smart low poly, the topology, you can have it be triangles or quads. And here's what it generated.
What?
Complete mush.
Oh, there's some pink. Yeah, there's a little bit of Barbie there. But
that's why it made it pink.
It's like a run over gator.
Which unfortunately happens this time of year.
Like a hand.
So I was like, okay, let's do this bird.
Okay, is it a crane?
Maybe. I don't know.
Check it out. Maybe.
Way better.
That looks great. Yeah.
Quite a lot better.
Yeah, the toes.
Like the orientation of the croc, why I wasn't able to do it. Yeah, the way the toes came in looks pretty good.
The beak is proper. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Really good. Let's check out the wireframe mode for it, and it did a pretty good job.
Oh, look at the typology.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, you did this really good. Let's see if you can actually do the rigging. And when I click in here, you can see that it actually has animations you can apply to it, like has like avian, I guess, like a set recognizes birds, avian like models. So when I click into the rigging section, you can try to do an auto rig for it, and then you can see how it's trying to do your IK handles for it, your inverse kinematics for being able to drive your appendages, and it failed. It wasn't able to do it. Yeah. But you can see here that the skeleton, like some of the defaults for animation is like fly. So I was really hoping that it would like, spread his wings and fly, but unfortunately did not work. You can segment your model. Like if you're printing like a toy, you can like have, I guess, like ways to print each limb in different pieces to reassemble. So I'm going to guess that if you try to do with updates, and like the paid subscription, this will probably get better. Yeah, I did throw a difficult model on it to be fair.
Okay. Yeah, and that's your image, right? You gave it that image. You uploaded an image. Yep. Did you try text prompting?
I did not.
I was just asking. All right. Oh, I see. It probably is looking for wings. So because it's like
probably
the wings are spread. It's kind of like, I don't know what this is.
And then here's stylizations for the render, which I didn't see before. It has like voxel and Lego, and I don't know what that other was. And imported it into Bamboo, and the detail that I was able to get, you could see the tongue on there. So I thought was super cool. And unfortunately, this, I didn't want to print it because of the way that the toes are all crazy grabbing onto that log. But if you sink it into the bed, you can eliminate that. Maybe chop it off and then print but then it wouldn't stand, if you did it out. But the other thing that impressed me was when you look underneath the model, you can see the way that, the wings are tucked underneath, and it was able to have that properly represented in the model and the geometry. So it did a good job.
Cool.
With what I would say is a difficult model. I mean, it just looks like a blob from the photo.
Yep.
I was really hoping I would be able to do that croc.
Yeah, maybe a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
To start you off with, I think it's like 600 credits, but I don't know how much it charges, how many credits it uses up for generating each model. But yeah, it's definitely worth a look.
Okay, it's
TRIPO.
TRIPO. All right, check it out. That's this week's rapid render.
And my trackpad is still dead.
It's like dead. Is it one of those magic pads from?
Yep, not so magic anymore. Oh, this isn't even plugged in.
Oh, that's great. All right. Do we want to drop a link to TRIPO? You're muted. I think you might have. No. You're like muted in the StreamYard. Sometimes when you plug in peripherals, StreamYard will like auto mute you.
Okay.
Tends to be a thing.
I do not believe I even grabbed a link for it. Oh, here it is. TRIPO. Studio.TRIPO.
TRIPO3D.ai. Is it the same?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll drop it in Discord there if folks are interested. And yet another AI CAD tool.
Add it over here. Across.
Are we running out of CAD tools yet?
I think that's it for the list. We had like a pretty long list that we were provided with. There was an article in Wired about all of them, and we were getting them from there. And it was a Google sheet. And it looks like it was being updated. It's like the last time it was updated was in April. I think I'm going to try the run-of-the-mill AI ones now. I think Meta.
Run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, so Meta AI has one. I will try that one next week, and then I'll try Gemini. Interested to see with they had, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? They had like the whole little conference on all the AI stuff that they're coming out with, the VO3.
Yeah, Google.
So I'll interested to see how it can help generate 3D models inside of just the Gemini. So I'm just gonna try those.
Yeah,
what good it can do. I'll even try out the Genmoji inside of iOS to see if that's any useful.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll do that in conjunction with MakerWorld's like image, so we'll generate the Genmoji.
Oh, that's right,
Genmoji inside of iOS, and then just feed that image into MakerWorld's 3D image generator. See what that workflow is.
Yeah, maybe they'd have some updates, but yeah, maybe I'll take a look at it too.
Oh, and then the WWDC on Monday. Let's see what Apple has.
Right.
I'm hoping MCP integration into macOS. Looks like Windows is gonna integrate the MPC stuff. So
yeah, this might be a nice one to try out for next week or the week after. This AI scanner 3D reconstruction from video. This is on MakerWorld's Maker Lab. I don't remember. That might be new.
Oh, that is new,
right? Yeah. So that's cool. That might be the one to do.
The other new one that they had on there, not really AI, but it was like it helps generate like hinges, like make things flexible.
Oh yeah, this one here, the Flexi Toy Maker.
Yeah,
that's a cool one. Oh, look at the wiener dog. It's cute.
I think the fish one's good, like a good model. Yeah, the wacky inflatable flailing arm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Not really AI, more of generators.
Right. Kind of AI. I mean, it says AI scanner. It's in the name.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah, we'll try that one. So there you go.
Yep. So we'll continue it in terms of using tools. That this segment might just morph into like what the shop talk segment is, just how to use tools.
Yep. That sounds right.
Your workflows.
Yep. Cool. All right. Time-lapse Tuesday this week. We have a mechanical print in place iris. I'll bring it up.
Yep. This week's Time-lapse Tuesday for Community Makes is this cool little iris fidget, little iris toy. We've done little irises like this before, but they were definitely a lot more bigger because of the tolerance. You always had to have them spaced out a certain size. So when I saw this tiny little one, I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. And it printed first time. Usually these took so long to try to print because of, they would just fuse together on the Cruelty printers. So super impressed that the Bamboo was able to print such a small one. You can see all the how close all the walls are underneath. Wow. And then I just used it as a D20 little spinner thing or roller.
Oh, yeah. Nice roller.
You just close it. And yeah, again, super impressed that it's multicolor. So I was able to, despite how close the walls are, it was able to go in there and do multicolor print on it.
Yeah, it's cool that it's a dome shape too. So that's really neat. Very mesmerizing. So it's from LouisDesigns on MakerWorld.com. Let's pull it up here.
Action of the bottom.
So it says it takes 56 minutes for single color ones. That's cool. And then if you scroll down, you can see they have different styles. There's like a piranha plant themed one, which is pretty cool.
I should have scrolled down and printed that one. That one's so cool looking.
Yeah.
That's why I chose these colors actually to try to make it look like a Mario print.
Yeah. So you didn't have any fails?
No. Again, I was scared because I think it was like Sunday, and I was like, "Oh no, if this doesn't work, I'm not gonna have a time lapse."
Yeah, some people are having the issues that you would come to know, like it breaks apart during print, or it doesn't open all the way or close all the way. Some people are like, "This just doesn't work," and this is a Bamboo A1, I think.
Yeah.
So very challenging to print. Could be filament, could be the printer, could be bed adhesion.
Yeah, it could be filament. I've had that issue where it was the filament.
So you're using all PLA.
Yep.
Clean bed, hot bed. Any other tips on printing or just?
If it's the adhesion, again, don't use alcohol. Use the Downy soap to wash the bed down.
Dawn.
Yeah,
here in the States.
That would be the opposite. The softener.
Yeah, Downy would be bad. I don't use Bounty. I use Brawny. Brawny. What? Let's see. Here you go. Okay, cool. I don't know. Good luck. It's a very hard print, so I'm fascinated.
That's what fascinated me the most. Yeah, multicolor, small, so how close the wall sizes are, and printed on the first go.
Yeah, I'm fascinated how that works.
See the bottom there.
Yeah,
and it's so smooth.
Yeah.
Or with the Cruelties, I had to apply the real butter, the gate bearing oil.
Are they all the same filament manufacturer, or are they all different, like a hodgepodge of filament?
I want to say they're all hodgepodge. So we have Overture, we have Polymaker, and then I don't remember this is actually glow in the dark rainbow.
Oh, really? That's even more of a how did this print?
I know, right?
Glow in the dark stuff can be abrasive, and it's has different shrinkage. It's radioactive because it glows in the dark. That's cool. And you didn't scale it up or anything, so
I didn't touch any of that. Placed it down. Whatever setting they had in their M3F, I just opened or had the open in Bamboo Studio button.
Yeah. It's always worrying some too when I see so many fails. I'm like, I'm not sure I'm going to print this, but you did.
I'm glad I didn't scroll down because that definitely would have frightened me.
Yeah, but then there's this person who's like, I printed a big one and a little one.
Wow.
Banana for scale. Yeah. So looks successful, and these are single color. So your multicolor one is I guess this one, right? Multicolor AMS version.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the super cool one, the bulb fidget. And again, this is LouisDesigns. Louis design on
Yeah, looks so cool.
MakerWorld. They have a bunch of cool stuff, so check them out. Free. Why did they put STL? It's 3MF. They have STL as well. Whatever. Oh, these are cool too. The little clicker ones.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very good stuff. Check it out. We have a link in the description. Make your own iris. All right. There are no community makes this week other than the time lapse that we just showed. So that's going to do it for us. Just in time with 5 minutes to spare. Sorry about that.
Where's the thing? 3 hours.
Don't forget, we have a 10% off coupon code for folks watching the show live. This is good for the next 24 hours. It expires tomorrow. So if you're watching live, you have 24 hours until midnight tonight on the Eastern Coast. Alarm gets you 10% off. Checking in on Discord.
Agreed.
Thank you, everybody.
Squid. Saying, yep, procedural generation has existed long before AI, but AI is the popular marketing buzzword. Yep.
Yep. And of course, they're marketing literally everything as AI. Yep, I keep seeing commercials with Woody Harrelson.
Every time I hear AI, I roll internal.
Yeah, it's like it's not really AI. Good stuff. Thanks, Squid, again for your smarts. We really appreciate you joining in live so you can help us troubleshoot things. All right, folks, that's gonna do it for us. Tonight we have back-to-back shows, starting off with Show and Tell. Show and Tell starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It should be hosted tonight by Mr. and Mrs. Lady Ada, I believe. Or maybe it's Liz.
I thought you said it was Liz.
Yeah, I think it's all right. So special host Liz will be co-host Liz, or not co-host, special host Liz Clark will be hosting tonight's Show and Tell. And then Ask an Engineer starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with open source hardware news, new products, top secret stuff, maybe a tariff talk, all that and more tonight, and a coupon code. And you get to get your questions answered. The show is called Ask an Engineer. All right. And then tomorrow is JP's workshop. Starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. So tune in to JP tomorrow. And then Friday is Deep Dives with Tim Foamy Guy. Starts at 2 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m. Eastern on Fridays, every Friday. And then on Sundays is From the Desk of Lady Ada. Be subscribed and hit the notification subscription so you can get notified when she goes live. Going a little bit later.
Oh yeah, it was like 11, right?
Yeah, it was like 10:30.
Oh man, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, I was in bed when I got the notification. And then CircuitPython Weekly is still happening every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Come on by the Adafruit Discord server or subscribe on your favorite podcast feeds because they go to the podcast players. And then we're back to Wednesdays. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. We'll see you next week with a new project. But until then, remember to make a
great day.
Bye, everybody.